Welcome to the latest Craft Stash Paper Crafting Basics guide. Our Craft Stash guides are designed to show you common techniques alongside tips and tricks within the world of paper crafting. And in this video we're going to be looking at inking with a stencil. And I've been quite excited about doing this one because I do like getting a little bit messy from time to time. So the stencil that we're going to be using is from the Creative range and it's called the Flourish. So it's a perfect stencil to be able to show you the inking technique. So I'm just going to put that to one side for now. The inks that I'm going to be using, and I probably won't use all of them, are from the Distress Ranger from Tim Holtz range, and the set 7 and set 4. So I'm just going to put those to one side, and then obviously I'm going to use my little inkers. I have all my different inkers for each colour that I've got, and I also write on them for which ink it is, and then I won't get them mixed up. So that's just a little tip to just show you how I do it. So the first thing that I've got is I've got an ink blending mat, and this is just to protect my cutting mat and stop me getting ink all over. And it gives a good slip for your blending tools. I've got a piece of card that I've already cut, and I'm just going to attach it to my blending mat using a little bit of Papercraft masking tape. It's not the masking tape that you would get in your DIY store because that's got a bit more of a tackier adhesive and it holds a little bit too firm and it might cut your paper. So this is the stencil that we're going to be using. It's the Flourish and it fits our card perfectly, and I'm just going to attach it over the top of our card, and again I'm going to use just a little piece of the masking tape to attach it over the top. And I'm adding the tape at the edge so it's not over the pattern, but it's holding it down so that it won't move on my mat. My mat will move, but I can hold that, but it will keep the stencil safe on top of the card. I'm going to start off with a light colour, and I'm going to start off with Scattered Straw, because you can always go darker, you can't always go lighter. I'm going to take the ink and I'm just going to tap the blending tool into the ink, and I'm going to start from the edge and I'm going to make light, gentle, swirling movements just through that corner, like so. Don't worry if you think, oh, I can't see the ink going on. It probably will be doing. It's just the case of it can sometimes cause a little bit of an illusion for you to think there's no colour going on there. But 9 times out of 10, your colour will get on there. So that's our Scattered Straw, and I've just added a little bit more in the opposite corner. This technique, it will take me longer to talk about the colours as we use them than it would for you to do it, because it is a brilliant technique and it's just so easy and quick. So the next ink I'm going to use is Shaded Lilac, and again I'm just going in the corner, circular movements. I'll start away from the edge, bring the blending tool onto the paper like that, and then I'm going to go to the other edge, starting off the paper, bringing it in and getting the colour onto the actual card. Now if you were stenciling on a wall, you would maybe be doing it this way, which is fine because it's the case of just get colour on the card. It doesn't really matter how you get it on, but if you blend it in the circular movement, you'll find your colour is more evenly distributed through the stencil. If you use the tapping method like that, you'll find it can get a lot darker a lot faster and you have less control. For a wall it's great, but for your smaller projects it's just something to sort of think about really. So the next colour I'm going to introduce is Spun Sugar, and I've got my tool again into the ink, and then I'm just going to break my own rule and I'm going to go straight into the middle, swirling movements quite light to begin with because we haven't gone off the edge of the paper, and then once you can see it building up, I'm just going to keep going round and round until I'm happy with the amount of colour I've added. So just add a little bit more through the centre there. And the last colour I'm going to add is going to be Warm Lipstick. Now this is quite a dark colour, or should I say it's a deep red. So I'm going to be quite careful where I add it, going off the edge towards the middle, just at that side there, and then a little bit at the opposite side, just to enhance the pattern. So that, I think, will be enough. And I also think the main thing about inking when you're using a stencil is knowing when to stop. Because if you keep going and keep going, then all your colours will end up merging into one and you will have no definition between them, which sometimes can be great, depends what you want to create. So now we can see what I've made. And I can honestly say this is the first time I've used this stencil. I haven't got one that I've made earlier. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to look. So I'm going to peel off the first layer of tape. Now if you didn't want to use ink, you could use paint or embossing paste. You could use your sprays, anything like that. If you use anything that's a lot more dense in colour, then you'll probably have to run it under the tap. If you use a texture paste, then you'll need to wash it in soapy water. You can also purchase adhesive stencils, which are very good. Again, you wouldn't need the tape at the side, but you have to be very careful when you peel those off. But because this is made of the plastic stencil material, you simply just peel this away. Oh, and you're left with your fabulous stencil. And that looks amazing. I'm so happy with that. To say it's the first time I've used this stencil. I didn't know how it was going to look, how it was going to turn out. So I think that would look fab on any card or scrapbooking project. I'm happy with the way the colour's gone through it and how it's picked up the detail. I think it's just a case of practice with it. Try it in one colour first and then start introducing different colours. So that is my stencil for the flourish and how to ink, and I really hope you've enjoyed watching. Please check out the website for so many other different guides that we've got, different inspiration and ideas, different projects that have been created from the design team. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch at Craft Stash, and I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.